from the highs. We got the opening bell coming up on your screens anytime. We look at indices and then we'll go to stocks. What do we have? Absolutely flat starts. 24,450 on the Nifty. You've got, 470 taking up a little bit. Let's see. Nifty Bank is up 0.4%, 51,445 on the Nifty Bank. The Sensex is starting about 0.15% higher. Mid-cap index is flat to slightly higher. So not very much, but it's up. Market breadth, I think you've got about 34 odd stocks which are higher and 14 odd lower. 14, 15 stocks are down. So it's mostly up. But I suspect, some of the juice is going to be in terms of these individual earnings reactions and news flow related names. Surabhi.
Before I get to lever, the stock that's really catching the eye is Hindalco with a 4.5% decline straight away. It's not like all other metal stocks are selling off. This is a big cut on Hindalco to begin with. Lever is down about 2.5%. So clearly there is still that disappointment that's showing up despite the fact that, yes, the stock has already gone into numbers weak. But then the commentary, the numbers themselves are really weak. So that's showing up. Britannia is down about 0.5%. Tata Consumer, Nestle, basically all of FMCG is sulking. That's the first trend this morning. Hindalco's cut is now almost 5%. So let's keep an eye out on this stock as well. On the upside, on consumer, if there's one shining star, it's Trent. And it seems that there's some churn going on within the consumer space as well as money seems to be shifting around. Trent is up about 1.5%. The other stock is Adani Ports, which is up, second best performing stock on the Nifty. And then there is HDFC Bank. It's showing its class, it's showing its move, almost 4.5% up this week, ever since it's sort of standing tall ahead and above others in terms of earnings and asset quality. Very little buying in IT. It's not very pronounced right now. HCL Tech, Infosys, they're trying to flash a little bit of green, but not too much. So basically, the only biggie on the upside is HDFC Bank. And then ICICI Bank is trying to inch up. Let's see if it gets there. SBI is on the flat line. Basically, banks and IT are at the flat line. Where they go, they will take the Nifty with them. But yeah, lever is now down 3.5%. So that's, that's saying something that while the stock might have not reacted too well, the fact is that these concerns are well entrenched and they're showing up on the stock.
Well, the reason that Hindalco is down is because Constellium, they came out with a set of numbers overnight and that stock was down close to around 28%. I'm going through a sales note though. They highlight that the correlation between Constellium's results as well as Hindalco's Novelis's numbers, actually, there's not a big correlation that we see normally out there. And just to point this out, when Alcoa reported a very, very good set of numbers, the same trading session, you had Alcoa overnight that ended down 5%. After in post-market hours, it was up close to 5%. So that correlation between these companies is not really there, but there was very cautious commentary coming in from Constellium. So that could be one of the reasons that Hindalco is down close to around 4.5%. Sona BLW, well, the street likes that deal. The stock is flying away as we speak. It's up close to around 6%. The railway business that they have acquired could contribute nearly 20% of its total mix in 2027. So that's good news. Aster DM, stock is up 10% now. Big move, big volumes out there. So a phenomenal move is what we're seeing out there. You like these earning surprises that you're seeing. Piramal Pharma as well. Last quarter was a little bit softish, but the last quarter of FY24 was very good and they've returned back to their winning ways. So that stock's up close to around 3%. AU Small Finance, well, the street likes quite a bit those numbers. We'll have the management at around 10:30 later today. So that stock as well is up and about. What doesn't the street like? Birlasoft. Stock is down 5% in reaction to its numbers. KPIT as well, I think, is seeing some selling post its numbers. It's now down 7%. Margin for error is very, very limited after stocks have seen a big rally. So that's another one. And, we spotted Sona BLW. Street likes the deal for them, but it seems that they don't like it so much for Escorts because the money that they're going to get may not be able to compensate for the earnings that they were getting from that railway business. So that's why that stock is down 4.5%. Prashant.
All right. So it's, on the index, it's absolutely flat. But there's a lot moving and both up and downside. And by the way, market breadth is negative. 1,200 stocks are down and about 870 stocks are higher at this point in time. Just on the downside, I think lever we pointed out with a 4% cut. So if you can have these up, Hindalco is down 5%. That's a very sharp move down on Hindalco. And that's the second largest volume traded cut. 2 million shares now. Amber Enterprises, day before yesterday, sharply lower, yesterday sharply higher, today down about 2%. SBI Life, Yash was been telling us about the numbers, 4% lower. Birla Soft, I think Nigel mentioned 5% down. KPIT, Nigel mentioned 8%. SRF is down 4%. SRF reported numbers in the closing hour yesterday. Escorts is down 4%. And what else? I mean, actually, it's a high volume start. So it's not lacking in volumes at all. Bajaj Housing Finance is down about 2.25%. Varun Beverages is down about 2.25%. Look at IIFL. My God, it's almost under 400 now. I mean, that RBI taking the gold loan back, it's basically back to where it was when it was not allowed to disburse gold loans. So, you know, all of that gone, absolutely, from 550 to 400 bucks, very, very fast. VIP Industries is down 5%. It's a results reaction. Piramal Enterprises is down 2%. Lodha is down about 2%. So Karnataka Bank is down about 3%. So that's essentially what's coming up. But then volumes will start to taper off if I go down the list a little bit more. Aster DM is up a solid 10% now. It's the second biggest volume-led gainer. AU Bank is up 4.5%. Piramal Pharma is up 4%. Naveen Fluorine, Sonal was talking about the numbers, 4% gain there. There is Godrej Properties, and you'll hear from the management a little later, 3/4% higher, actually 3% higher for now. Care Ratings is a big mover, 10% pop on Care Ratings, 10.5 actually, 1294 is where Care is coming up as far as gains are concerned. 361 had sold off a little bit yesterday. It's pulling back about 3% today. Skipper Limited is up about 4%. EPAC Durables is limit up 5%. Syngene is coming up with about a 3.5% gain. So lots and lots of movers up and down, although, I mean, there's about 20 points to show for it as far as the Nifty is concerned. Nifty 20 down points on the index right now. Surbhi?
No, I was just saying, because you mentioned IIFL, I was looking at the numbers, and it's very clear that while, of course, gold loan, I mean, that business had its own problem, the other businesses, they simply couldn't fire. On MFI also, there's no growth this quarter because they've probably been a little conscious given the RBI sort of scrutiny, and the other businesses haven't done well. The company posted a loss in the quarter, so just keeping that on the radar as well. It's almost 100 crore loss, and obviously that's sort of hurting the stock price.
Oh, absolutely, and yeah, you know, it's just a tough environment. I mean, as far as the regulatory environment is concerned, and of course, generally seems to be a bit of a slowdown as well.